Okay, so we live, right? We're streaming on Kick right now, so YouTube, get on my Kick. Now, back on the live stream, what does it take to be a successful trader? Is a series that I'm starting because me, myself, I've lost a lot of money when it comes to trading. You know what I mean? When it comes to trading, I've lost a lot of money with it. And I've learned some stuff too, and I've gained, you know what I mean, some money from it. And I know that you can really make it big, you can really be successful from trading, you know what I mean? So, what does it take to be a successful trader? We're gonna be reading this trader stories, and we share our comments. Let's see this, man.
Billionaire investor Masayoshi Son is looking for a new way to grow his wealth. Despite his 4.3 billion, not everybody folds under risk pressure.
Thank you for coming today.
It's my honor.
Let's go over the deal we talked about over the phone. I know you said you are not interested, but
Oh, this is BNF. Apparently, he's a day trading legend from Japan. He's the god of Japanese trading. Let's see this.
I believe every man has a price.
So,
Before you say anything, I will double your management fee to 3% and a performance fee of 30% and 3 billion of my net worth to manage. What do you say?
I just trade stocks in a closed room alone and know nothing about what's happening in the world. It's almost cheeky for me to advise someone who has much more experience in life. I crafted my own style through experience and I don't like to be influenced by others.
Yeah, when it comes to trading, bro, it's patterns that repeat themselves. You know what I mean? It's just ways that when it comes to me, yes, I trade stocks. I trade stocks, US 500, which is S&P, right? 500. Gold, gold versus euro. Yes, that's what I trade. Because when it comes to those ones, I be feeling like them ones is not very volatile. It's not really messy. And then when it comes to those ones, they're kind of like consistent with patterns. So it's just up to you what you really use. You know what I mean? Your strategy and whatnot. So it's just up to you. What works out for you, use that right there.
For that reason, I cannot manage your billions, Masayoshi-san.
And hey, bro, I'm not yet there yet. You know what I mean? I'm not yet there yet. This is like me documenting, you know, my come up on the YouTube scene and in the trading scene at the same time. Because this now I'm actually introducing this at the same time. You know what I mean? Whole time I just been doing reactions to all types of content on YouTube, but really I've been trading on the side. Nobody knew this. Nobody really been knowing this. You know what I mean? So I decided, I'm thinking to myself, hey, I can really document this. You know what I mean? I can document cause I know I'm gonna get there, bro. I know I'm gonna get there. It's coming. It is, right? I believe that, right? So why not document this right here? I can do this on live stream. You know what I mean? In my comfort zone at home. Why not document this right here? You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm really grateful for that right there. Another thing, I need a shout out to YouTube because I'm really grateful for this right here. Because at the same time I'm documenting this, I can even make a living. Because you know what I mean? YouTube is paying. YouTube is paying. You know what I mean? YouTube is paying my bills right now. So I really appreciate that right there. I appreciate that to be able to do this and still document my way up in the trading scene. Because it's something that's really looked down upon just because of what comes with it. There's a lot of scammers out here. They tryna, now them scammers. This is how I look at the scammers in the trading industry. These fools, they couldn't make it, so they thought to themselves, okay, since I'm not clever enough to do this, let me just trick other people that could actually be clever enough to make it in this thing, and let me get their cash. You know what I mean? So that's how I be looking at the scammers, bro. Is ones who failed, and then the one they paying out on people. It's a bust, bro. That's a bust. And I've been scammed too. I've been scammed too on my way up, bro. I'll tell the stories later though. Let's see this video. It just started. BNF. On the story is BNF. It's about BNF, aka Takashi Kotegwa. Takashi Kotegwa is the real name. I wanna, I wanna Google him real quick. I wanna Google him quick because this right here, the video is like, is a storytelling video. It's not really. There's no Takashi in the video. It's just it's a storytelling video, bro. I wanna see his pic. See how this is his pic right here. This is his pic right here. Where's his pic right here? He has an about on Google, bro. And this is my first time hearing about this food. Because come to this, bro. I be trading and whatnot, but what I really be focusing on is me perfecting my craft. I haven't really been focusing on the whole, well, everything that comes with it. You know what I mean? I haven't really been focusing everything that comes with it. You know what I mean? But this is when, by right now, as I can be able to document this, make a living as I'm documenting, I come up in the trading scene. I'm thinking to myself, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea right there. So, we're learning new things as time goes on. See this right here? Takashi Kotegwa is a retail trader who shook Japan's stock market in early life. Day trading, born in 1978, bro. In 1978. In 1978. And March 5 too. Let's see it, man. Let's continue.
You will regret.
Als Kapitänin stehe ich im Rampenlicht. Es ist ein extremer Druck, immer zu performen. Aber ich lasse euch nicht im Stich. Texona, 72 Stunden Nonstop Deo-Schutz.
The official partner of the UEFA Europa Conference League, Laufen.
You will regret this for the rest of your life.
BNF had made a name for himself after the JCOM trade in 2005. Everybody wanted a piece of him. He became a Japanese legend known as the JCOM man. But to BNF, it was just one trade. Cup ramen, anime, and spending most of his days alone in a room day trading. After making 2 billion yen in one trade, BNF felt the same. He just wanted the next trade. But as he adapted to his newfound fame, a deadly storm was coming. As the global market started showing signs of a bear market, the greatest financial bubble of his lifetime, one that could wipe out his portfolio size. He knew he had to cut out the noise. He had always kept it unprofessional. Because he didn't kiss the ring of the people with the checkbooks, BNF had set up his trading in a tiny apartment. His small, unprofessional setup.
A tiny apartment, small apartment, just like me, right? Just like me.
Reflected.
And another thing, when it comes to you trading, you don't really need like to be around people. This is what people don't. People think that you need to have somebody to teach you. No, all this knowledge you can only get from you. You got YouTube, bro. All this knowledge. For me, my knowledge for how to become a YouTuber, all these things like streaming, making these types of videos, bro, at home and whatnot, trading, all that knowledge I got from YouTube. You don't really need to be out here paying for this scammer cards. These people scam you, bro. Because look at this, bro. Nobody really knows where the market is going, right? So when you're paying for somebody to teach you, they're giving you what they think they know. Sometimes what they think they know is not really what they know. It's just that at that moment, it's working at that moment. You really want to know if your strategy is good, bro? You really want to know if your trading strategy is good? Back tested. And when I say back tested, I don't mean back tested for the past 2 years. Back tested for over like the past 6 years. Has this pattern been occurring for the past 6 years like this? You know what I mean? Check out the drawdowns, the maximum amount of drawdowns it had done. Well, I'm still on my comment though. This is me still in my come up. So I'm just saying what I'm thinking.
BNF's distrust of the system. (1986) Osaka. What are you doing? That's way too far. We gotta rewind track. In 1986 Osaka, growing up, it was the same. BNF spent most of his days inside. But then a blessing happened to BNF that turned his whole worldview bright. It made him ready to believe you could outsmart the system. BNF was living the college life. Like a lot of you, he was experimenting with
account size. Account size was at $30, bro. My first account, and this is my first impression of trading. This is how it went, bro. I don't know how I managed to get that money in there, and I started around. It was 2019, so I was like, oh no, 2019. I was like 7 years ago. I was like 15, 16 at that time, right? So I couldn't get a bank account. I couldn't really get a bank account because you could, where I was, you had to be like 18 to get a bank account. I grew up in Botswana, so you had to be like 18 to get a bank account. Sheesh, couldn't get that. There's this other thing, like a mobile money. There's a mobile money thing that's that you still had to be 18 to get that thing. So, as I was 15, 16, since I just discovered about this, you can make money out this and whatnot. I downloaded the MetaTrader app. How did I find out about this? The homie that posted his trading screenshots, like, hey, I just made $40 in 15 minutes on his WhatsApp status, and I watched it. I'm like, yo, his name is Muturi. I'm like, yo, Muturi, what the fuck it is? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey. He's like, that's money. So I'm like, put me on. You know what I'm saying? Put me on. That's how I found about Forex, right? That was Forex days. That was the Forex days. Listen right here. There's a difference between Forex and stocks and crypto. And there's a difference between all those. I didn't really know this at first. I was in there all the same, but it's a whole difference. Right? The homie done put me on. So like I was saying, my first account, this is my first impressions, right? I put money on it. How was I able to put money on it? I was 16. I don't even have a bank account, bro. I don't even know nothing about brokers. All I'm thinking is, all you gotta do is on the MetaTrader app, put money in it, and money will come back to you. That's all I know. That's all I know. Make money, quick money. That's all I know. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. It's quick money. Good. I got to get I hit up one of my friends, bro, and this is after like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe even a month, bro, of trying to get me an account, because my family members was like, no, we're not on that. My sister, she refused, but she was like, if I had a bank account, I would have helped you. She didn't really have a bank account at that time, you know what I mean? But she refused. But I knew that she really would have helped me, bro. That's how she is. You know, that's how she is, my sister. Yeah. So, but my whole family does like, that thing is a scam. You know what I mean? This is what comes with it. This is what comes with the people that failed in the industry and try to put this shit on people. Right. So that the whole, so they had refused, right? Them saying it's a scam, right? So I hit up one of my homies from school, right? Boom, boom, boom. One thing is trying to, I got an account. I got in like $20 into that account, because that was like 200 BWP, right? I put $20 into that account. Boom! On that night, that saved that. I don't know what I was doing. I just hopped on YouTube real quick. How to trade on Forex. I didn't even know how to buy, how to sell that. You know how to place orders. I didn't even know nothing. You know what I mean? I just got there. I was like, and I hit up bro. I'm like, yo, dude, how do you place orders in this thing? He's like, it's just on the app, bro. Just check it out. It's on the app. I can't teach you if I'm not there, but just check it out. I'm like, I bet. Then hop on YouTube, boom, boom, boom. A beginner forex trader video, bro. I don't know what I was thinking. 7 minutes in, I'm already thinking I'm legendary in this shit. Boom, hop back into the app. I done place some trades, I place some trades, and I seen it. And this how the Major Trader app is. When you place a trade, you gonna hear the sound, cool, like boom, like something is getting hit, like you're getting clapped, bro, like you're getting. You know what I'm saying? So that sound a little bit. I had it, and I looked back, and it was blue, bro. Meaning my money is going up. I kept on clicking. My money kept on going up. $40 off, $46. I'm thinking, oh, this is easy. So I'm closing the app. I'm not thinking to myself that this thing can go back down. I'm thinking, it just stay. If it goes up, it just goes up. That's what I'm thinking. So I close the app. Come back later. Account blown. That's the first time I blew an account, bro. First time I blew an account. Let's get out of this video. I got more and more of those. You know what I mean? And I got of why the trading industry comes with people thinking it's just scammers out here. You know what I mean? I got those two. Played.
His life purpose. Ramen, anime, sake. Not much had changed until one day he came across an episode. In 1989, NHK, a Japanese TV network, aired a 4-part series about the world of finance, with the first episode titled The Man Who Lost 50 Million. The episode covered the legendary hedge fund manager Victor Niederhofer. Victor Niederhofer was a wild guy. He was a notorious speculator. His fund trading options on the index futures, and he was known for blowing his fund twice. After watching the series, BNF got hooked. BNF was so inspired by the documentary, lifestyle, and trading, he based his trader name BNF on Victor Niederhofer. The game of trading and the freedom it gave, it was the lifestyle he had always dreamed of. But unlike Victor, BNF wasn't born in opportunity. At the time, BNF was a broke college student. He knew he would have to save up for years to even get
college. He got to college. Man, I've introduced this shit 15, 16. How you handle those losses, bro? You know how many people. You don't even know, bro. My same homie, the same homie that I introduced this to 2 years later. And by the way, I also got a story time or how to like sell my PlayStation for find an account and whatnot, bro. I got that shit. So look, bro, even the homies that I have put on this day, bro, they not on. They like they giving up. They giving up, bro. It's not that easy. But if you really know what you're doing, bro, what you think is Wall Street millionaires, bro? You think these people is just out here just being whistling diesel, bro? Whistling diesel, right? And he actually influenced me to do this right here. This is whistling diesel. I've been a fan for whistling diesel since last year, bro. Last year around this time, but no, early months of last year, bro, because I had hopped on YouTube, back on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Started making content again, and whistling diesel, his videos, that was interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? That was interesting to me, although there was some comments in them, you know what I'm saying? That just had me keyboard warriors type of comments. Oh, bitch ass niggas that won't say nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? In real life. Well, we far apart, but yeah. Here's the thing, bro. Even though some of the videos is getting hate at first, I didn't give a fuck. I'm still doing them videos till this day. And then, just a few days ago, and I was in my live stream too. I was reaction to Whistling Diesel vid. And I seen that he joining Forex too. He joining it, bro, on the vid, and he did a whole vlog on it, bro. And he actually made cash on that, and that was my first impression of trading too, mind you, making money. But now since I left the phone, I didn't even know what to do. My first impression was blowing an account. I don't know what I'm talking about. Whistling Diesel actually made money. You know what I'm saying? His first impression, so that was cool. That was cool right there. And he was helped by a successful forex trader there. And I'm seeing this, I'm like, yo, it's really people who actually made it like this, for real, for real. And then he was actually talking realistic things, like things that I could see to a relatable aspect. You know what I'm saying? So I got on to thinking, I'm like, but even though I'm really chill behind about it, bro, I'm really laid back behind about it, like I'm still like perfect my craft. You know what I'm saying? Now my confidence went up, even though I still have that confidence a little bit. Like, yeah, I know I'm gonna get there. Now my confidence just push up to skyrocket, bro. It did. You know what I'm saying? It did right there, and it's safe to say that I'm seeing me going up there with the trading industry thing, bro. And I'm gonna start putting out content on trading too, strategies and whatnot, and yeah, gonna put it out too.
Get started, let alone make profits?
Well, when I say my strategies and whatnot, I'm lying to you, man. I'm not saying, I'm not sharing nothing. I'm sorry. I am sorry. But the experiences like this right here, oh boom, in it. Yeah. Maybe I'll give you like maybe 1-2 strategies that are actually really good, that could actually really be profitable for you. Maybe. And at the same time, it's not guaranteed. I'm not gonna lie to you and be like, hey, it's guaranteed, it's good. It's probably trash. I'm thinking it's good. So yeah, I'll just, as time goes on.
Are you kidding me? He knew nothing about trading. And he's not like you. He didn't have YouTube. In the 1990s, Japan had very little textbooks on trading, let alone trading via a computer. There was no information on it. Even though the odds were stacked against him, nothing in life beat the excitement he felt when he thought about the millions of trading, how his life would change. The charts captivated him. He knew he wanted to become a day trader, against all odds. So in college, he got to work. BNF started working part-time jobs. He was working weekday nights and weekend shifts. Besides rent and cup ramen, he saved as much as he could. In between college and his job, he spent every moment he could looking at charts, day in and day out, studying price action. Like a bear studying currents for its next meal, BNF was learning how stocks moved, studying all the top stocks in the Japanese Nikkei index. In time, he started identifying the meaning in the movements. There was a flow to it. To make up for the lack of available information, he relied on building his own theories on how the market worked. He sacrificed.
Now he's actually like doing research. What I do is but I've actually really been doing for real, is just looking at charts, like really analyzing charts for real. Yes, I'll go back to the some ICT vids, yeah, for some SMT references and whatnot here and there. Yes. Come back and, you know what I'm saying? But analyze the charts for real, bro. I never really took time to really take time to read a whole book, written notes about this shit, man. Never. And I'm planning on doing that. Why would I try somebody writing notes about it? Like, hey, I never really thought about that, bro. But coming to think about it too. Bro. Yes, it can actually be way more beneficial than actually watching a video. It can actually be way more beneficial than watching a video. But this is stocks. They change as time goes on. Yes, I said check out his patterns. His patterns was lasting 6 years ago. It should, even though patterns still do okay, but the spreads, bro. There's the spread. There's the spreads of an aspect. Gold won't act the same as it was acting. The volatility for gold is not the same as what it was when it was at 1,000. If it's at 3,000 right now. You know what I'm saying? So it moves with the time, bro. It moves with time, and then numbers too. It's really about the numbers too. It's really about the numbers too.
All his time. After 2 years working part-time jobs and stuff.
Because if you can't even estimate your lot size, bro, based off what your account is, like, oh, I got $20 maximum lot. What kind of account is this? Is a standard? Is a standard account? Oh, maximum lot size I'm reaching is 0.07. If you can't understand that and you max out your lot size, you're maxing out your losses and whatnot, since you on profit, you know, thinking they draw down, and now you in profit, you adding trades. You're adding trades. You think you're in profit, now you're adding trades. You're not thinking to yourself, hey, I'm limiting my drawdown right now. You're really pushing back your drawdown like crazy, man. You really, the addition of trades is not for the beginners. You gotta have experience, man. You gotta have experience in this shit. It's gonna come in like, hey, 3 days in, 7 minutes in the video. Already know what you do. It's not like that, bro. It's not that easy.
The charts every single day, the moment had come. By living frugally, he had managed to save up $16,000. It was time to face the markets.
It's described as nothing short of breathtaking, a points drop never before seen on the US markets.
Young, hungry and disciplined, BNF is anxiously trading to make a living. But the market he faced was an unforgiving bear market. As you know, in 2000, the global stock market had just been hit by the burst of the internet bubble, aka the dot-com bubble. But what you might not know is Japan had already experienced a huge asset bubble burst in the 90s. It was known to Japanese economists as the lost decade, where assets prices dropped over 70%, a decade of terrible economic pain. Despite studying Despite studying the charts for 2 years, BNF started suffering initial losses. However, through his experience, he quickly developed a strategy that was simple yet brilliant. In a bear market, the overall sentiment is fear. People hate losing and think positive upswings are unlikely on the short term, so they underestimate their likelihood. His strategy was contrarian trading. BNF found when traders are fearful about the overall bear market, they will often oversell falling stocks to avoid the pain of losing. Or in BNF's own words, when going for a short-term rebound, what you should focus on is the moving average divergence. In the bear market of
divergence, that way, bro. I've been wanting to say that word for so long. Like, I was putting you all on game, right? I was like, hey, I'll put you all on game. Like, one strategy that works, divergence. And no, you don't need no indicator for this. I am pure naked chats, bro. I be on naked chats. I don't be having no indicators, no nothing. Right. So, when it comes to divergence, you need that smart money divergence, bro. Smart money divergence. Search that up. That's a strategy right there. Just search smart money divergence. You good. That's a strategy right there. That's how I'm teaching mines. Well, you think I had the chats loaded up and I'm finna show you what this? No, I just gave you 2 words. Put it in that YouTube thing, and I'm off. Thank me later, man. And you come back to this video and put it in the comment section, cause you wasn't in the live, right? Now, next time you come to my live, we here. I'll have the link in the description. Let's go back.
One, I would only look at stocks deviating at least 20% off the 25-day moving average, with 35% being somewhat a safe level to buy. Price would then surge, and I would close the trade in a profit. But it wasn't that simple. Even after stumbling upon this revelation, a lot of BNF's trades were losses, with more losers than winners.
Because when it comes to the indicators, man, they're kind of slow. They really is slow. For you to really wait for something in a market whereby at that given moment it's trillions been passing around, and you're waiting for the moving average to come and catch up for you, wait for... No. I really like the charts, man. I really like the charts just like naked like that, because I really like And then when it comes to me using even the divergence, bro, even the RSI divergence. Well, I had some money I made from that. There was one time I made some lucky money from there, but I was making some real lucky money from there. But that RSI divergence, I don't know what it's based on, but once I get to know what it's really based on, how the RSI moves, I think I can make something out of it. Like I say, we still learning, man, and coming.
It was painful to see his hard-earned savings shrink. To him, it seemed like some sectors of the market were trickier than others. Despite the pain, he knew it was unrealistic to expect overnight success. Instead, he decided to focus his mind and double down on analyzing his losers. From studying the losing charts, BNF had realized his losers were repeatedly the same sectors, and each of them had different repeating deviations. He concluded the divergent percentages were different per sector, or in BNF's quote from his old 2-channel posts. For the service sector stocks, the range of deviation from the 25-day moving average was between 22 and 30%. For the post-dot-com crash IT stocks, the ranges were 25 to 45%, and for emerging stocks, it was 28% to 60%. Applying different numbers per sector allowed him to find greater entries to the temporary upswings. BNF had learned he first had to develop a feel for the sector before being able to make a trade. With his intense focus, he was producing more wins than losses. But by December 2001, the bear market got even more insane. There was a massive crash in penny stocks. It looked like a market-wide Black Friday sale. BNF saw 20% deviation opportunities everywhere. These were companies with strong brands and often liquid war chests. A lot of BNF's friends he met on 2channel started buying in. It looked like the perfect buying opportunity. But to BNF's instincts, he felt there was a problem. When everything is on fire sale, is it even a sale? So he passed. Having learned that different sectors have different points of rebound, now was no different. Instead of stocking up on the fire sale, he only focused on the extremer cases. Stocks that dropped significantly greater than the market average. Stocks closer to 65% deviation of the 25-day moving average. He made the right call. All of his stocks rebounded after only 1 to 2 days. A lot of them jumped up 50%, with some even doubling after 2 to 3 trading days. Remaining calm and applying his self-developed feel for the market had paid off. If he had bought at the typical levels like his friends, his losses would have been catastrophic. Instead, by the end of 2002, BNF had grown his account to $1 million in US dollars. He had become the great bear of Japanese day traders. The high was exhilarating. He was finally living off his trades. But then a tragedy happened to BNF that turned his whole worldview dark. Yep. The whole world went on a massive bull run. You heard that right. That's the tragedy. While the whole world was ecstatic, BNF was stressed. See, BNF's strategy only worked in a bear market. He needed the fear sentiment.
Yeah,
but now the market...
even thinking, bro, because they be like, hey, the more you buy gold, the more you win on gold. That's how it is. So because it's gold, right? It keeps on going up. So what are my strategies? I'm back on them. I'm saying, still back testing on. I'm thinking to myself like, yeah, this can actually work out, because if it's only buying gold, you can actually try a strategy out on buying gold only. You can miss out on the losses that can happen on some sell trades, right? And if it's a high possibility of you when buying on common sense level, that just adds up the percentage of you winning. You know what I'm saying? It adds up your chances of winning, bro. It does. So what was he trading that only worked on bear markets? Like, he was just profiting off this downfall. That's it. What was that again? I forgot. What was that? I'll put us back on this.
The BNF strategy only worked in a bear market. He needed the fear sentiment. But now the market had flipped. He was facing a whole different opponent. To continue making a living trading, he had to figure out how to beat this new bull market. And what made things worse is he actually had some money now. He didn't want to lose his freedom. To ensure he didn't blow his account, he had to find a system to minimize his risk. From his past trades, BNF learned the importance of market sentiment. To minimize his risk, he decided he didn't want to fight the bullish sentiment. Instead, he wanted a strategy that profited from it. I mean, we all know bull markets. As long as you hold, you will make money in the long run. But you can't day trade that. So instead of holding long term, using his understanding of codependency in the Japanese market, BNF found a new clever way to ride the bull run. When the market's strong, core companies tend to rise with the index. What BNF found is core companies don't go up at exactly the same time. They're always laggers, and that's where he buys. He would ride these laggers up and then sell after a few days or weeks. Since these opportunities didn't appear every day, his trading transformed into a few trades per month. Instead of trying to force his trades, he stuck with his strategy. Through years of experience, BNF had come to view trading not as individual price action, but rather as one global machine. Understanding the relationship between individual parts of this machine and his unemotional discipline, that's his genius. The strategy allowed BNF to maintain profitable returns in the bull run. His account grew by 10 million in 2 years, and that's when things took a weird turn.
My guy is moving with the times. See, that's how I was saying, bro. This is how I was saying. Like, it's how gold is acting at 1,000, not the same how it will act at 3,000. You know what I mean? The volatility is saying things. So you gotta be up to date with the numbers. I say it's a numbers thing, it's a numbers thing. That's what I mean when I say you gotta be up to date with the price. And like you say, you see how he up to date with what's going on? He realized that, hey, the bear market is now, hey, now it's moving to a bull market now. Now he's changing with the times now. He's moving with the numbers. So yes, pattern is important, but you know what I'm saying? Like, look how it's acting, bro. Look how, I don't think you get it. You need to look how it's acting. Look at the candle, man. What y'all trade on? Line charts? I'll be trading on the candlesticks. I'm analyzing the candlesticks, man.
It's December 2005, 9 a.m., another morning on the Japanese stock exchange. The markets are rowdy as various new tech companies had IPO'd on the market in the last few months. Traders were hungry for that next unicorn company. However, this morning, their eyes were on a new stock, JCOM Holdings, as it went public on the emerging markets. Within minutes, panic emerged. BNF couldn't believe his eyes. JCOM looked to have one of the greatest stock drops in history. Unsure of what was going on, traders were hesitant to buy. Concerns of financial fraud grew, and the internet started going wild over the story. Meanwhile, at Mizuho Securities, a man was fearing for his life. He had made an unimaginable mistake. His job was to sell one share of JCOM at 610,000 yen. But instead, he sold 610,000 shares for 1 yen each. After it went live, there was no reversing it. Luckily, the Japanese exchange has what you call a limit up and a limit down, meaning there's a limit to how much a stock can move up or down in one day to prevent highly volatile situations such as these. But it wasn't enough.
Hey, no. What makes man? I'm like, hey, I ain't no way this fool made a type of mistake like that, bro. Who makes this kind of mistake? 600,000 shares for 1 yen each. I hear that correctly, man. There's no way. Nah, this fool was. Nah, he was stealing. Oh, 1 share of JCOM at 600.
Meanwhile, at Mizuho Securities, a man was fearing for his life. He had made an unimaginable mistake. His job was to sell 1 share of JCOM at 610,000 yen.
Okay.
But
yeah, 1 share of JCOM at 600,000 yen, right? But this fool did the opposite. Fuck. Yeah, like, man, what? But this fool did the opposite, bro. Listen to this.
instead, he sold 610,000 shares for 1 yen.
I would have been on the. If I was that, yes, man. If I knew about this, I would have been on that, bro. Which I don't know why I didn't buy the Dogecoin. I knew about this. I knew about this at that time. I just got my bank account. I should have bought Solana at that time. Sheesh. Man, bye. I'll get you land, bro. You land from these things.
Each. After it went live, there was no reversing it. Luckily, the Japanese exchange has what you call a limit up and a limit down, meaning there's a limit to how much a stock can move up or down in one day to prevent highly volatile situations such as these. But it wasn't enough. BNF moved quick. In a matter of minutes since the incident, he attacked. He bought 7,100 shares at the limit down price, which gave him an unbelievable 49% stake in the company. He put half his entire account size on this trade, and his protege Sizz bought in alongside him. The panic escalates as Mizuho Securities realize they can't reverse their trade. In a desperate attempt, they tried to buy back as many shares as possible, but they weren't the only buyers. By now, even institutional players had caught wind of this. Everybody wanted a piece. The price started rocketing as the market closed approaches. His protege Sizz cashes out his profits. He even withdrew the money from the bank, fearing government drawbacks. But BNF didn't. Instead, he remained calm. He decided to take a calculated risk and sell only a small number of shares. BNF held 6,000 shares overnight. Would he lose half of his account size or make an ungodly fortune? For most traders, this will be the most stressful night of their life. But BNF was calm. To him, it wasn't about the money. It was a game. And his opponent had just made a huge blunder of a move. The next morning, while blood was on the streets, the news came out. The JCOM stock had got halted. Fearing legal implications, large institutional players returned their shares and profits to Mizuho Securities. But rogue players like BNF refused. As time passed and government showed no intention of intervening, Mizuho Securities only had one remaining solution: a settlement. Mizuho.
Imagine being able to build anything, for any reason, in any style, at any scale.
Mizuho agreed to buy back rogue trader shares at the expected morning price of the stock. Before halting, that opening price was set at an unbelievably high number of 975,000 yen. BNF had made a total profit of around 2 billion yen, one of the largest profits ever made by a bedroom day trader.
A bedroom day trader is wild. What are you talking about? Why you saying like that, bro? Shit. I better start finding my account. I'm gonna start being a bedroom day trader about making. What's his name, Maggie? But we're making BNF's money in the bedroom right now, bro. The bedroom. My bedroom is like, it's like a bed sitter, bro. It's like, it's a house, yes, but it's a bedroom, bro. You know what a bed sitter is? It's like a house, but it's a bedroom. I don't think you get it. Yeah, bro. But I'm about to be making that BNF money right there. I'm about to relate, bro. So I can really relate with BNF. So, see right now, I fuck with BNF right now. I fuck with BNF heavy. Look at this relation, man. Like, it just influenced me to not actually research even more deeper, bro. Like even more deeper, because like I said, it's all about the numbers, right? Now I was really looking at price and how price is moving, and the volatility of how price is moving. But he was going in deep, looking at the inversions and stuff. What's an inversion? You know what I mean? Looking at the inversions and stuff, bro. Well, I know that the inversion is like, is the bid and ask, right? Like how many people bought in. Yeah, look at the inversion percentages. You're looking at the inversion percentages of an asset, bro. And then he's adding a divergence with the moving average. Now he was in too deep. I was in too deep right now. It just influenced me. I think I'm about to in too deep now. It's just that I was looking at the indicators are a little bit slow, man. They're a little bit slow. So I don't really know about the moving average, but the inversion percentages. I'm about to look up on that, bro. You better look up on that too. Yeah, look up on that too.
Everybody wanted to cover the story. BNF became known as the J-Com man in Japan. Niche trading communities started worshipping as a god amongst traders. He had even won the attention of billionaire investor Masayoshi-san. Despite the high risk, BNF had come out on top. He had now achieved legendary status. Was it time to go pro? He had finally won a comfortable, regular lifestyle, doing the thing he loved. In an interview he did at the time, he said, "I don't enjoy taking money off the account. Seeing the physical amount of cash makes me fearful of how much I'm putting on the line trading. It makes me a worse trader." BNF quickly realized he hated the attention.
So the computer is like, now it's just in the screen, so it's not here physically, so but it's just a number. You just look in the screen is just a number. Like in the screen is so disconnected, bro. It's so disconnected. If you're not there, if the cash is there, yeah, he just wanted the cash to be on the screen. Because if he was there, he would really, nah, I'm not putting this, I'm not taking all this cash to put in the bank. He'll be out there in the clouds, bro. Yeah, smoking some fire ass weed from Thailand. He'll be out there, bro.
While the money gave him a comfortable lifestyle, he noticed he had no motivation to spend it on traveling the world or living a high society lifestyle. He would rather grab a drink in town with his friends. Spending the money only took away from his love for trading. He only cared about the art of trading. As BNF battled to maintain his humble and comfortable lifestyle, the tide shifted. The markets were changing. A familiar storm had returned on the horizon, but little did he know this would be his toughest challenge yet. As BNF once again faced the birth of a new bear market, he found himself returning to his roots, revisiting his same old strategy. The Japanese news even covered the crumbling banking system of the US. This was a global event, but BNF had been studying it for months already. On September 13th, 2008, BNF made a similar bet to JCOM, and he invested $6.5 million in the Lehman Brothers stock. Lehman's stock had fallen 73% that year. See, Japanese banks were safe and boring, and this was the fourth largest investment bank in America. It had a strong reputation. To BNF, a rebound was inevitable, but he made a critical mistake. BNF underestimated the level of corruption in the US banking system. Even though it met all his bear market strategy deviation targets, he didn't know the US market. He hadn't studied it the way he spent years studying Japanese stocks, and the fundamentals were off. He had broken his own golden rule. His $6.5 million went to zero overnight. After suffering such a painful loss, BNF swore he wouldn't trade the US markets ever again. But the storm wasn't over. The US housing market crash led to a global collapse of the financial system. For bear market traders like BNF, when there's blood on the streets, it's time to go in for the kill. On October 10th, 2008, he smelled blood. The global financial system was collapsing. The Japanese markets were taking a heavy hit, and the Nikkei 225 index was no exception. The Nikkei had dropped, and BNF saw an opportunity for a rebound, so he bought in, following his old principles. But the markets continued to move against him. As the market closed, he faced a decision. Should he cut his losses or hold overnight? Knowing the exact setup had worked for him in the past, BNF decided to hold. But the markets got even worse in Japan. In 2008, Japan was one of the countries hit hardest. With the global financial crash, people were buying a lot less consumer products. And at the time, Japan had restructured their economy around export and trade openness. 90% of Japanese export was industrial supplies. Though most of it went to Asia, it was used for Western products, which took a huge demand hit. Further, Japan had been increasing its trade openness. While it helped Japan climb out of its stagflating economy in the 90s, it also meant they were now more prone to shocks on the stock market. The next morning, BNF woke up to nothing but red numbers. His old deviation targets seemed to no longer work. The index kept...
But then now you see, now I think I'm about to stick with mine, because now, like I was saying, bro, when it comes to patterns, they should repeat themselves. Now, BNF, see, now he was really looking out into just focusing on one thing, like on the stock. Similar stock, when it comes to patterns, it will work on the Nikkei, it will work on US 30, it will work on gold. It's just up to you how you like your markets moving, bro. You feel what I'm saying? So me personally, like I said, I prefer the gold US 500. Yeah. So now you see how they're saying like the deviation stuff was no longer working no more. The deviation stuff. The moving average is low, bro. Look at where the moving average is. Look at this way. Look at where it is. It's on the second last candle. It's not on the current candle, bro. Is it? It's not even on the... I don't think it is. It don't be on the yeah, it's not on the current candle, bro. It's not a candle for me, kinda. It's slow. They're kinda slow though. But with the charts, like if you see the patterns, bro. Yeah, the patterns, they repeat. It's way better that way. Just naked shots, it's better, bro. I prefer that. Master that one day.
Kept dropping. BNF was on a losing streak, heading towards greater losses. While most traders would have went on tilt and made desperate attempts to reclaim their losses, BNF remained calm. He found the discipline to cut his losers short. But after the Lehman loss, the hits were starting to add up. He had to go back to the drawing board. Nobody can time the bottom, or else we would all be rich. His strategy of gradual increase in position size based on the 25-day moving average deviations and differentiating per sector It had always worked. And after careful analysis of the market, he felt now should be no different. However, he noticed over the years his deviation targets had become outdated. Markets had grown and rebounds across the Japanese sectors had become quicker. So, he recalculated his deviation target.
They've always been quicker, it's just that the indicator's been slow, bro. They've been making you like move a little bit slow. They've always been quicker, bro. They've always been quicker. It's no time they have not been quicker.
Per sector of the Nikkei index. On October 27, the Nikkei had fallen. BNF went in for another rebound. The market refused to work with him. The Nikkei continued to fall. As time passed, the weight of his trades got heavier. Watching anime to calm his mind no longer worked. Had he become too comfortable?
When bank shares get hammered, people's pensions get hammered, so everybody loses.
Meanwhile, as markets everywhere react, the bottom to America's financial woes, markets from Asia to Europe are doing their utmost to prevent Monday from turning from dark to black.
For that reason, I cannot manage your billions, Masayoshi-san.
That day, he realized his greatness didn't come from his strategies.
2008, Lehman Brothers, the fourth largest investment bank.
It came from his ability to tune out the noise and his discipline to develop his own understanding of the market.
And it was his own, bro. It was his own.
BNF stuck to his guns. Instead of doubting himself and his own experience, BNF doubled down on his trading strategy. As the position continued to move against him throughout the morning, BNF went on a buying spree. BNF started taking diversified positions in a lot of the hardest hit companies that formed the Nikkei. His overall position size grew to $64.8 million with positions in over 90 companies, while the Nikkei had fallen below $7,000.
The strategy is working on 90 companies. Okay, now we back on the deviation stuff, mate. Oh, which strategy is this? Because you say the deviation stuff was outdated, right? Which one is it? Because now you got 90 positions on 90 different companies. I'm only out here in 2, 3. And it's really gold I'm trading and SP. That's it. Just 2. I'm really on 2. And 90 different companies, bro. What strategy is this? Did I miss it? There's no way I missed this, bro. There's no way I missed this. No, I missed this, mate. No, I missed this. Did I miss the chat? I'm trying. No, I missed this, eh? Like, yeah, bro. But let me know if I missed. Guess I didn't, right? Yeah, what strategy is this?
While the Nikkei had fallen below $7,000.
Fans, Neugierige und Wiederentdecker gibt's jetzt Milchschnitte zum Gratistesten. Mit Geld-Zurück-Garantie bei jeder Aktion.
After the Tokyo Exchange lunch close, the game changed. A couple of the top names have begun to rally, slowly bringing the Nikkei back up. As the Nikkei climbed, the positive chain reaction started spilling over to more of BNF's positions before the market closed. Having faith in his understanding of the markets, BNF decided to hold his position overnight. The next morning, the market continued to rally, and that's when BNF decided to start to unload his position. His trade gave him a profit of over 12 million. BNF had regained his godlike status. He was once again a god amongst Japanese traders. In the last few years, BNF had diversified his portfolio. He bought 2 commercial real estate buildings. Commercial properties tend to have longer-term tenants, and it offers great tax cut incentives. Real estate is typically a great place to benefit from during an increase in inflation. He sold one of his properties, but he seemed to stick to his main focus, trading. With no signs of changing his lifestyle and his godlike growth, BNF is on a mission to become the world's first billionaire bear bedroom day trader.
Oh, I turned on subscriber only chat, didn't I? That's why I turned on, hold on, let me switch it off. I'm sorry. I forgot, I was just checking it out, but I forgot to turn it off. What? That's why, right? And I had to like, sheesh. Yeah, it's on. What the nah, let me know shit. Hop on another video. We'll hop on another what's his name? On a billion bears video. This is interesting. So BNF, right? BNF. I'm finna go back. I'm about to go back on that video though. But for now, because I wanted to see like what that last strategy, that last part right there, I want to see that last strategy for that 90 companies. I want to use the 90 different positions. If you know about it, let me know in the chat. I put out I turned up subscriber only mode. I turned up subscriber only mode. So now you can check. I wanna go to home though. I wanna view it from this perspective, not this one though. Like this. Yeah. Yeah, I did. So another billion bears video. I'm thinking of that. So we did this one, and then here's another Japanese trader. Here's another Japanese trader, and there's another bedroom trader, bro. This one is for Wall Street. Let's do Wall Street. Since we did Japanese, we can't do okay. Let's do Wall Street. Let's not do Japanese. Let's do Wall Street first. Right? Yeah, that's better. Let's do Wall Street. Navigation.
Nav is a legendary day trader, known for making millions out of his parents' bedroom. Yet few know the truth behind his early trading and his battle against the Matrix. Flee from a life of poverty in India. Before Nav was born, his family fled to London, UK. But immigrating to a Western country didn't mean it was easier to get opportunities. Now, as a self-made day trading millionaire, Nav's eyes are set on forever changing the financial markets. Nav's parents bought a house in Hounslow in 1982, a few years after arriving from Punjab, India. Because it's next to the airport, house prices are cheap. His parents worked lots of jobs to make ends meet. It was the only way they could send Nav to a great college. They hoped it would improve his future. In 2001, Nav went to college to study computer science and math. To help lower the rent, Nav rented together with a couple of roommates. One of his roommates always had extra cash on him. Wanting to make more cash himself, Nav asked him where he got it. His roommate explained he had deposited a student loan into a brokerage account, and he was using the money to trade tech stocks. Realizing he could make more than a local supermarket job, Nav was fascinated. Soon after, Nav went online and started learning everything he could about trading. See, Nav had an obsessive nature. In high school,
like I was saying, this is how I find out about the trading thing too. Like the homie that Muturi, that dumb man. Yeah, yeah, that fool. He posted on the WhatsApp stage. He put me on. Shout out Muturi, man. But this shit ain't for the weak dog. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, God damn it. You know what I'm saying?
Nav was obsessed with.
Like I was saying, most of the homies that we put on is no longer with us right now. It's me and Muturi. Muturi is still on. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, Muturi is still on though.
FIFA, playing hours on end, climbing to the top 200 players worldwide, repeatedly playing against the same top players. Nav focused allowed him to pinpoint individual players' habits and develop counter strategies. If players played aggressively over the left wing, he changed it into a four-man defensive position with his best defender on the right. As he read up more on trading, Nav opened his account, placing small personal trades and losing most of it. But it was a fair price to pay to gain the experience he needed. It wasn't until 2 years after uni that Nav made a decision that will forever change his destiny. Still living in a bedroom in his parents' house, Nav was working odd jobs. First working a job doing telesales at a company called Dialophone, then an admin job at Bank of America, mostly to help chip in for his parents when paying for groceries and bills. One evening, Nav opened the local newspaper when an ad caught his eye. Wanted, futures traders must work well under pressure. Seeing his parents struggle over the years and wanting to support them more financially, Nav worked to get the job. His goal? Make more money day trading than Warren Buffett. Trading firm IDT That's where Nav applied. IDT wasn't exactly high finance. Picture Peaky Blinders, but gambling on stocks instead of horse races. To get in, Nav had to pass a grueling application. First, they got a 3-part test. Part 1, a McQuicken mental agility test. Part 2 was a test for pattern and recognition. And finally,
pattern recognition. Like I said, pattern recognition, bro. Anyone who is a real trader, I'm not talking about no fake, try it out this. I'm trying this. No, I'm not talking about now. No, you trying out. Anyone who knows how to trade, bro, how to really trade, who has really been in this, made some money, yes, lost some money, yes. They'll tell you, bro. It's all about the patterns. The patterns is the most important. I'm telling you, bro. The patterns is the most important. Some of y'all don't realize it until someone says it, until I say it. Now you realize it.
the few who survived all that were grilled in a final interview on hypothetical trades. In May 2003, Nav and a few remaining survivors met in office for the first time. Most of them were in their early 20s. Together, they faced months of simulation, theoretical explanations, trading psychology, and Paulo telling his war stories.
The price ladder. This I'm excited to show you because a lot of you probably never actually seen what order flow looks like. This is what we execute on. 80% of our trades come from what we see there. Why? Because that's the raw market. Everything you see in charts, in anything you read in articles, whatever it is, that's an extrapolation of what the market is. That this is the market. Bids on the left, price column in the middle, offers on the right. This is what we look at on a daily basis. In this video, I'm going to show you a month-end trade. On month ends, our traders really push their size because on month end is where institutions, hedge funds, pension funds, changing their books, trying to book in their profits. That's where you see a lot of order flow. So let's take a look real quick. You see at 44s, he starts seeing a buyer. He buys 80 lots. Now every tick is 800 euros. He sees a bit of a seller come in around, I'm seeing a bit of a seller at 46, 47. He's probably going to offer 47s. He offers 40 at 47s. He gets filled. He's trying to get 48s. He tries offering 48s, doesn't get them. He offers 47s again. A seller's coming in. He's leaving his offer in so that he can try and sell it. This is in minuscule time frames. Not even 5 seconds. That was 2,400 euros. This is the kind of price action we watch. The interaction between the bids and the offer. How the market's interacting with each other. Do you see that price action? How are you reacting? How are you getting involved? And so sometimes, I mean, not all the time are we trading such big size, but when you know you can feel the edge in the price action, that's where you want to be pushing it.
After 8 weeks of tireless training, the rookies were close like brothers. They were finally ready to face the markets. Eight hours on a lone desk, he traded. He talked to no one. Besides the founder's office, everyone else sat together. The office news blasted through loudspeakers. Nav hated the negativity and the rowdiness of the office. He saw the importance of keeping his mind clear as he traded. His co-workers described him as absent-minded, sometimes starting his trading days forgetting to take his bike helmet off. Nav chased profitability. Nav started his trading in the S&P 500 E-mini futures.
That's mine right there. That's my guy right there. See right there, we already start to relate already, man. You already know the SP is good. SB be nice, bro. It be so smooth. SP is so smooth, bro. It's like now trading SP is actually trading now. Now there you're actually trading. Because now that one's smooth. You get what I mean, bro.
He arrived at the office at 2 p.m. till 9 p.m. to trade the U.S. markets. Between trades, he often did pull-ups or played football manager on his phone.
SP, bro, is not really that volatile. You got a US 30, bro. That thing will move so quickly. It will move so quickly, like it can get to 50 points, like $50, right? Yeah. with a 0.01 lot in less than 10 seconds US 30. You know what I mean? Just randomly. You can do that randomly. Just spike and really move. But SP, you don't really see those. You don't really see, you know what I'm saying, a lot of that. Yeah, sometimes it's there when it really moves like this, but it's not really too much of a drawdown when it moves that. It's not really too much of a drawdown with the SPs. Cause I'm like, it's smooth, man. That one is smooth. SP and gold it's like a goat. When it comes to trading, it's like a goat. If you really want to make nice money, you just laid back. There's a top 2 go to. According to me, I don't know what y'all think. Like, what's your top 2? You got a top 2 go to? The top 2 go to. Yeah, top 2. But let's continue, man.
Nav's trading strategy was scalping, in and out multiple times every day. Unlike others, he didn't use stop losses. He called it letting his trades breathe. While riskier, it allowed some of his losers to rebound. It also meant he had to stay focused for hours on end. Nav didn't rely on traditional chart reading techniques or patterns. He didn't believe in them. Instead, his obsession lay in the ladder. In video games like FIFA, his strongest opponents had habits in their playing style. Nav's focus was on identifying their habits until he found an opening. In trading, he did the same.
But even him looking at the habits, that's like a pattern. He just didn't know that that's a pattern, bro. It is. That's a pattern or something. It is. What you mean? Like he's looking at how many buyers bought in from this candle and how many this. You know what I'm saying? How many sellers is in this candle and how many buyers is in this candle. He's using those. Like at what times do they really get in the most? At what times is buyers the most in the candle? You know what I'm saying? At what time of the day is you're looking at those patterns.
He focused on watching the ladder movements. Despite digital trading being anonymous, people had habits, recurring volume sizes and plays. By only trading the S&P 500 E-mini futures, he started recognizing the movements of its market makers. 9 out of 10 orders were never filled. Bluffs were everywhere. He was competing against the greatest traders across the globe. In 2005, IDT, the firm, relocated to Woking and named itself Futex. The firm was doing well, hiring more recruits. While the firm was doing well, not everybody was happy. The firm's founder was a man named Paolo Rossi. He founded it alongside his brother, Marco Rossi, and Dan Goldberg. Paolo had made his money trading futures in the London pits in the 80s. Now, he lived in a mansion and drove a Ferrari to the office. To inspire the newbies, of course. While some gravitated towards his charisma and his war stories, Nav didn't. Nav wanted to become the greatest day trader in the world, and he didn't think Paolo's experience would help him at all. Nav didn't fear his bosses. In fact, he thought they held him back. See, Marco Rossi was in charge of day-to-day management, and depending on the trader's performance, he would give them different capital and risk limits. Every time Nav achieved high returns, he would march down to Marco's office, demanding higher amounts of capital and higher risk limits. They often got into heated debates and cussed each other out in front of the whole trading floor. In fact, Nav would chew out anybody who dared to touch his enormous pride as a day trader. Paolo, Marco, other traders, nobody was safe. Nav knew the only reason they put up with it is because he backed it up with his trades. While some might view this as a toxic relationship, that forced limiter on Nav's pride and his unwavering confidence as a trader gave him time to fine-tune and improve his skills as a trader. The risk limits helped contain his aggression, and to get Marco to give him more money to trade with, he was constantly challenged to improve his skills. But while his trading skills were growing, so was his frustration. He could no longer hold them back.
You want to lash out on the market. Start going crazy, leveraging. Higher loss sizes, crazy loss sizes after crazy loss, just You ever did that? And then just leave your phone and then come back. You multiply your account 18 times, 20 times. Yeah, that was me one time. I still got that story time, but yeah, I got that another time. I done did like how many story times now? 2 or 1? I done did a long story time. I don't know. But that another time.
Nav vocalized his pride as a trader and his frustrations with society on the forums. That's the Fugazi. That was his name on the popular day trading forums, with a picture of the Joker as his avatar. He often shared his views on common trading theories like Ralph Walton Elliott, known for his Elliott Waves and the Elliott Waves Principle book. Although markets appear random, they affect repeating patterns of nature and Fibonacci numbers. Nav thought this was unconvincing and extremely limiting to rely on such a technique. Same goes for William Gant. He used principles from astrology and geometry for trading. Nav gave him even less of a thought. Even a 12-year-old could use this. He viewed the world as a matrix. After 4 years of perfecting his scalping on the S&P 500 E-mini futures, Nav had built up an account size of 400K. He had built up a rep where most don't even survive a day. Till one day, some odd ladder movements had caught his attention. An impending financial crisis in late January, early afternoon, Nav was at his desk. The S&P 500 had gone from moving 50 ticks to moving 5% a day. The financial news was bleeding into the markets. In the corner of his eyes, he noticed irregularities in the DAX, an index that tracks Germany's top 30 companies. He had recently started to
That was 2008, bro.
play around.
This is before the Wall Street crash.
With it for when the U.S. market closed. Despite the negativity in the markets, Nav noticed there was a pile of buy orders waiting on the DAX ladder, and whenever the orders hit, they replenished. He had never seen anything like it, but then again, he wasn't a DAX expert. That's where Nav's comrade comes in, fellow Futex trader Young. Young joined Futex around the same time as Nav. He was the more charismatic of the two, often buying new rookies drinks on Friday nights. Young traded the DAX. It was his hunting grounds. Yet, he was also surprised. During the evening, when most markets went down, the DAX crept up. Somebody kept buying. Nav and Young noted that the market the following morning was 90 drops lower. Whoever was buying had given up. It was unbelievable. So they decided to build a strategy around it and short it overnight. They hit gold. For 2 weeks, they repeated the trade, hoping their luck would continue. Surged on by his wins, Young continued to trade the DAX throughout the day and gave a lot of his profits back, while Nav let it breathe and doubled down on his winning strategy. By mid-January, Nav's account balance had blown up to £1 million. On Saturday, January 19th, 2008, news came out about a 31-year-old French trader, Jerome Caviel. He spent his night...
I was about to say about this third time, this fool inspired me, bro. It was a time where I was like, I had really gone off trading. I was just really off, really practicing though. Well, I'm still really actually just perfecting my craft, but I'll find out my accounts real soon. But yeah, I'm still perfecting my craft. So Jerome Cavier, bro, the 50 billion trader. When I make it to lose it, and then I heard that Jerome Cavier, apparently he got hired on this other trading company, right? He was trading for that company, and all they pay him was like $30,000 per month. And there was a time that he would make over like 20 million, like crazy amounts of cash, just trading the whole league. Same, even that 50 billion, it wasn't really his. It was the company he was trading for. All he got was like $30,000. All he got was his salary, bro. He was living off his salary only. Jerome Caviar, mate. The biggest risk taker I know when it comes to this trading. Yeah, the biggest risk taker I know when it comes to trading stuff. And if you're that crazy of a risk taker when it comes to trading, how crazy are you when it comes to real life risk taking? You know what I'm saying? And at that time, it was so relatable to me because I was so addicted to cigarettes, man. I was so addicted to cigarettes. And I had in his interview, he was like, he'll go the whole day, like blowing up to like 15 packs of cigs. He was there, so he got the whole day blowing 15 packs of cigs. And that time was so relatable because I was so addicted to cigs. I was like, yo. So he really pushed me, so he really got me back. And then, as I'm really getting back, I'm really starting to see the vision, man. I'm really starting to see the vision. You gotta see the vision. You just cannot walk without seeing the vision, man. You cannot move without seeing the vision. There you go.
It's using the bank's money to buy longs on the DAX illegally until the financial risk team detected it. After an inspection, the bank realized $7.2 billion had been burned away by Jerome Curviel. When the news came out, the DAX sunk further. While the bank was near bankruptcy, Nav's account had reached a new level. But as he progressed, so did the system he fought. As some of you might know, around 2007 is when the market started to change. One morning, at Futex, Nav started noticing peculiar movements in the ladder. The office was rowdy as a lot of his colleagues seemed to be on a losing streak that day. But it wasn't just that day. The months that followed were the same. Despite becoming a bigger player, Nav struggled to read the ladder. Spoof orders, faster fills, the market were changing. His opponents became so skilled that Nav thought they could see through the ladder. In reality, his opponents were...
What's a spoof order, bro? How come I'm just getting to know of a spoof order right now? How come I'm just getting to know of that? What's a spoof order, bro? I gotta search that up. Hold on, man. What is a spoof order? Spook order, spook. It's spooky. It's a ghost. It's a ghost. It's a ghost. It's a ghost. Or no, not this, bro. In trading, the spooks. God damn it. The spook. In trading, man. Where is it? In contest, spook order refers to the process of placing order with the intention of cancelling them before execution, often to mislead the other traders about the true supply and demand of a security. This is a form of market manipulation and is illegal in many jurisdictions. Yo, so it's like, but how is it that the order is not seen on the chart though? You can see that the order is not seen. Oh, they put it in and then cancel it and then it disappears, right? That's how it disappeared. I'm thinking it was just there, like it just appears not there, you know what I'm saying? So they get in, they get out. Get in, get out. Get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, get out. And then that point will be like a hard, let's say it's a demand zone. It's a demand zone, bro. Yeah. So the price, when it comes here, spook orders right here. Boom, 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 boom. I think when the price comes back here, if the price is to retrace back on the next candle with its wick, because since it will be spooky, people will think it's about to go up, when really people just got in and cancelled. Right? People just got in and cancelled. So now it's going to be like a lot of people got in. So if the next candle comes up and it's forming, and then the wick goes back to where the previous candle opened. You know what I'm saying? It's filling out those spook orders. That's market manipulation right there. So you take up the orders. That's where you place your trade. You place your trade right there, man. Because they have manipulated it, right? They manipulated it. So that's just like a wick. Like the SMT divergence thing. Like what is it? The two wicks when they're the same, they reach the same point, bro. The 2 wicks when they reach the same point, and then the wick comes and then fills out those orders, and then goes behind, and goes by. That's also kind of like people can also have manipulated this right here with spook orders. They can. Not that saying that happens all the time, but they can do that. That's just an example of the spook order being in place in the market. That's a spook order. That's a spook order in candlestick charts. This one now, I don't know what kind of what's this order charts. It's order flow charts.
No longer human. While Futex was hiring new recruits, others hired coders. Firms like Getco and Jump Trading, early quants. By 2008, the quants had become so effective they became 1 in 5 trades. It didn't take long for exchanges to offer quants huge commission cuts. See, exchanges take commissions off every trade.
Yeah, that's order flow charts. I was explaining in candlestick charts. You got that.
Robots making thousands of trades per second are way more profitable, and these same exchanges are the ones responsible for policing traders. Founders of the CME group, like board member William Shepard, for example, was also a large shareholder in quant firms Jump Trading. They were the same people, Citadel and Jump. Faster scalping speeds and lower commissions, human players no longer had a chance. If a trade made the wrong move, it was the algos. It squeezed many scalpers out of the market. Nav hated the quants. To him, they weren't robots, they were the rich. How could he compete with a bunch of faceless billionaires? The markets were no longer a level playing field, where if you had a skill set, you could make money and change your destiny. Nav, like other traders, blamed a lot of his losses on the algos. While he didn't know it at the time, later he would learn some of the trades he complained about the most turned out to be human scalpers. Nav's frustration for trading grew, and so did his aggression towards authority.
Last shot on the market now.
Nav's anger reached a boiling point. He went on strike. Frustrated with the markets, Nav felt the 90-10% split he was getting at Futex wasn't good enough. After getting into heated debates with Marco, things were getting ugly. Nav was starting to disrespect his bosses in front of other traders. Things had become unrepairable. After receiving a notice from the tax authorities, Nav's paranoia blamed his bosses. He wanted out. Over the years of Futex, he had built an account size of 3 million. It was time to cash out. But the brothers refused to let him go, claiming they first wanted to make sure the tax authorities were happy. After Nav got a big-ticket lawyer involved, the bosses cracked and gave Nav his money. Having lost his only form of a mentor and the limiter on his trading risk, the pitbull was now off the chains. After the fight, Nav was more frustrated than ever. His autistic nature made him even more paranoid, and he felt like the government was out to get him. Soon after, indirectly, Nav met some new affiliates and a man who went by the name Mr. Jesus. Mr. Jesus approached Nav with an opportunity to manage his money. He promised exponential growth, with annual returns of around 30% and a promise to eliminate his tax bill. Liking the sound of what he had to offer, Nav agreed to partner up. On Thursday, November 20th, 2008, the S&P closed at the lowest level in a decade. After finding himself a new broker at GNI, Nav rented a desk at CFT, a trading firm located next to the Tower of London. The financial crisis was peaking. 2 months had passed since the Lehman collapse, and reports came in the U.S. government would step in. That Friday morning, Nav started buying futures. After a turbulent morning, things started to pick up. The following weeks, the markets rallied even harder. As news came out that the Treasury announced they would be putting trillions of dollars into Citigroup, Nav doubled down, thinking the market had further to go. His new broker was starting to get nervous. By now, most traders believed the recovery was over. And to make things worse, Nav was close to his margin limit and had him put a stop loss on as the U.S. market closed. Fearing the worst, the next morning his broker called Nav. His mother answered the phone. After his mother woke him up, Nav told the broker to look at the charts and hung up. Later that day, the Fed announced $8 billion to ease the flow of liquidity in the market. The markets exploded, but instead of cashing out, he held. While enjoying a meal at McDonald's, the markets continued to rally. Nav made $50 million off this single trade. He was ready to put his new plan into action. Rebellion against the Matrix.
Grip, stability, precision. That's the essence of driving. Lawfin.
What would you say to somebody that hasn't tried therapy before?
Just ask yourself if what you're doing in your life right now is working. If you have peace, if you have good relationships with loved ones, or if you have healthy boundaries, if you're able to put your head on your pillow at night and just fall asleep, if you've got control of your marriage or your parenting, if what you're doing is working, then maybe you don't need therapy. But for most of the people I talk to, they don't know what the next right move is. And so I would say go sit down with somebody, a neutral third party, and just say, I need help.
On Friday, June 12, 2009, Nav emailed his broker to put him in touch with a trading technology expert. He followed up with an email titled Matrix, in which he described his exact requests. On-screen display, cancel if close function, alternate the closeness, one or more prices away, join bid/offer, you hit into orders but don't get filled, being able to enter the orders on multiple prices using one click, the abilities for my orders to rest on a particular side. If not enough volume underneath, it will pull while staying at the back of the book. This can be done by increasing/decreasing my order by one lot every time a new order is detected, to be able to enter an integer. Lastly, the abilities for my orders to only allow one clip to go into them. Hence, if I'm working on a 500 lot and a 2-lot trades, the 480 balance is removed immediately. Nav was up against an opponent much stronger and with way more capital than himself. He knew he could never build the software that could compete with the algos, but he had a better idea. The quants were followers, reacting in predictable ways. If he could mess with the robot signal, he didn't have to beat their speed. Instead, he could take back some control. The goal was simple: to distort the number of supply and demand enough to alter the algo's functionality, which would allow him to buy low and sell high. While placing fake orders in the back of the queue worked, it was hard to make a significant impact. Nav knew if he wanted to mess up the algos, he had to get closer to the best offer. If the orders filled, it would cost him millions. So he decided he needed to change his order every time someone would change their order, ensuring he always stayed at the back of the book. +1, -1 deviations, alternating to maintain his position.
Every time someone changes the order, he changes his order, bro. That's that order flow. Yo, how do I get that order flow chats? I need them numbers, bro. That actually makes sense. Every time somebody changes their trade, because they manipulated the market as they changed their trade, right? Right. That's how you get in. That's how you get in, bro. Like sipping up that liquidity from that. Yeah.
Size. To get it done, he partnered up with an engineer in New York, Antonio Hedrugales. The engineer touched down in London, and after a few meetings, was able to get the cancel if close option to work. But the back of the book functionality was proving to be more difficult. See, most high-frequency trading firms want to be as quick as possible. This was the opposite. So, he said he would look into it. A couple months passed and he didn't hear anything from the engineer. In November, Nav followed up, saying what he made was already proving to be very useful. With a few close friends, and besides the occasional soccer game, Nav stayed inside for most of his day. Nocturnal, trading out a small bedroom in his parents' house. It's a wild idea to build a money printing machine and not tell anybody about it. The previous day,
it's not a wild idea. Like, I'm trying to do that too. It's just that I'll be looking out for you because you be looking out for me. You know, here you supporting me, right? And you just being here and what's supporting me, just watching, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's beneficial for me. Right. So, I was looking out for you. I'll be looking out for you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm trying to build this money machine and keep it to myself. Because I'm not trying to have it out there so people are, no, I'm not, no, I don't want people to spoil the game for me, man. Why would I do that? It's here's my secret to how you make money. Not everybody know how I make money. What? Like they say, man. Like they say, bro. There's the reason why the rich, they gotta stay rich. And there's the reason why, the rich, they be rich. Like, them people, they be looking out for themselves, man. They do. Why should I give it to you, man? Like, nah, yes, I want to help you back. Like, yeah, I understand that and all, but it's like, you also gotta put in the work too, you know what I'm saying? Everybody gotta put in their work for themselves, man. You gotta do that. You gotta put in that work. So that you value it. For you to value it, you gotta put in the work, because you put in your time, you put in your money, you put in your fans. Especially if you put in your funds. You went broke for this? Oh yeah. Now that's gotta happen. That's got to happen, man.
Made $435,000. That's more than his parents' house.
But really, people don't be liking to take risks, you know what I'm saying? So afraid of risk, people be afraid of risk, man. It's like, so that's how it is. So it's like some people can risk, some people they risk and they get lucky. But some people just risk and then the risk goes well. Some people risk, nah, it don't really go well. And then they pop out back though. But most of the times, if you really took a risk, like for real type of real life risk, man. Like, hey, you really went broke for this shit. Like, you really went homeless for this shit. Like I gave this story time the other day. It's on the other live. The story time whereby I was homeless, bro. 4 days. But I was homeless, and at the time I still had a YouTube channel that was monetized. I still had a YouTube channel that was monetized, and I was homeless. But for how it all started is I was moving out, bro. I moved out of my grandma place. I moved out of my grandma place, right? And I'm moving out to a whole different country, bro. But to the country where I was raised at, though, right? But now I'm in a whole different country now. Like, I moved out, bro, at 19, by myself. 19, bro, by myself. So it wasn't really easy, man. It wasn't really that easy. And since I was moving to a different country, like I traveled, bro, my computers, I had left everything that side. I didn't have no equipment for doing no videos, no nothing, no no, I didn't have nothing. I didn't have none of that. So I'm out this side, I go, yeah, my clothes and whatnot, I would do this and this and that. But this decision that I made, my grandma didn't want this to happen at all. Till this day, she's still saying I should go back. She didn't want this to happen, but I knew this was best for me, man. For me to actually like really make it, like, yeah, I had to take the risk. I had to take this risk. I really knew that it would be like a price to pay. Now you can't get nothing for free, man. It wasn't like I got kicked out, like, get out of here. Nah, man, I was supposed to be in college right now, studying finance. I was supposed to be finishing up finance, bro. What the fuck? Nigga, I quit. I took the risk. and it was still on the come up, man. I'm like, started to document it. Hey, if you in YouTube, put up on my kick, bro. I found out that link it to. I keep on saying that, but it's in the description, man.
Early in his career, he decided to not talk to his friends or parents about his finances. He worried they would treat him differently. A few weeks earlier, on March 23rd, an in-house member of the CME had picked up on his suspicious activity. Other traders that reported Nav's orders kept disappearing. He received a warning to stop. Nav replied, "Oh, sorry, I was just showing a friend of mine what high-frequency trading firms do on the bid side of the market almost 24 hours a day. Does this mean you're cracking down on them as well?" He continued using the program the next day. It was election day. Residents made their way to polling station. Britain was in a turmoil after the financial crisis. Unemployment was up 50%. Banks like RBS and Lloyds were in hot waters, and the economy on life support. All the uncertainty flowed into the market, which was good for trading. Between mid-2009 and April 2010, the global stock market bounced back from its lows. But the crisis had just exposed the EU pigs as they battled with their debts. The biggest was Greece. The country was pretty much bankrupt. On May 2nd, the EU Central Bank decided on...
Bro, the whole background music. Background music, basic. Hey, I hope this background music don't get me copyrighted, bro. Hey, I hope so. I really hope so. I'm just hoping so, man. I don't really want the copyright issues, man. Nah, man. I don't really like them copyright issues, man.
A $1,455 billion lifeline. On May 4th, thousands of people started protesting. With panic emerging in the EU, large financial players started withdrawing their EU assets and diversifying into gold and fine metals. On May 6th, at 3:20 p.m., NAV turned his setup on. He activated the cancel if closed feature and placed 4 sell orders totaling 2,100 contracts, starting 3 levels above the best offer, $1,163. They had a combined value of over $120 million. In the next 6 minutes, these orders were automatically closed and reopened 604 times.
That's that manipulation right there. Spoof orders in there. 604 times, bro. What type of manipulation is this? I say this right.
At 5:17 p.m., NAV activated the auto trader for the last time. Usually, he used it for 5 to 10 minutes. This time, he left it on for 2 hours and cracked up the size. He had 6 sell orders totaling his value to $200 million. In the final 2 hours alone, he traded a combined value of $3.4 billion, and he made a profit of $879,000. 1 minute after shutting off his trading program, the E-mini started to plummet with a velocity and intensity never seen before. It shed 5% of its value in 4 minutes. It looked like a steep cliff. The S&P 500 and its individual shares started falling. It was unbelievable. More panic emerged. At 1:45, the trading had paused, and the markets had fallen so deep that the automatic pause system had kicked in, and for 5 long minutes, trading froze. After the pause, markets climbed back at record rates, way faster than humanly possible.
Panic selling on the way down, and all of a sudden it just stopped on a dime. All of a sudden here we started hearing screaming, buy, buy, buy.
Governments and lawmakers got to work to uncover what happened. If you read the Wall Street headlines, it was the quant trading firms, a glitch that wiped trillions in value. By summer 2012, NAV had finally managed to improve his algo further, to the point of all his desired features. He found himself a new broker, RJ O'Brien, since his last one had gone bankrupt. Over the years, Mr. Jesus had continued sending NAV updates of his money and had even set up offshore accounts for him. They also presented him numerous business investment opportunities, like new up-and-coming gaming companies in which he could invest. While he continued trading, the regulators were on his trail. They deducted from a recreation of the flash crash that there was a high-ticket player spoofing large volume sizes at MFM trading. On April 21st, 2015, in a joint operation between US and UK police forces, they arrested NAV. His life started collapsing. The tax pressures, the managing of business investments, and the offshore accounts. It had all become too complicated. It wasn't trading anymore. In prison, Nav's autistic character suffered. He struggled to maintain his mental health. When his new cellmate tried to hang himself, as Nav screamed for guards while holding up his legs, Nav broke. As his lawyers struggled to get $5 million in bail from his offshore accounts, they realized Nav was in deep trouble. His business partner, Jesus, wasn't a genius money manager at all. He had been running a pyramid scheme, paying old investors their insane returns using new investor money. Because the entire pyramid scheme was offshore, it was impossible to get his money back. Nav had lost everything. Before sentence, Nav asked to say a few final words. I spent 36 years trying to find happiness on a path built on a lie. I did things society said will give you happiness, and when they didn't, I didn't know where to look. Eric Aldrich put out a paper analysis on the flash crash and the S&P 500 E-mini trading data millisecond by millisecond. From his paper, he concluded that Nav at most had impacted the fall by 0.324 basis points. The free Nav became a popular tag for day traders on Twitter. It became clear that Nav had become somewhat of a scapegoat, taking the fall for much larger quant firms who also played an undeniable role in the flash crash. Amongst day traders to this day, many view Nav as a legendary trader who started with nothing and became one of the biggest traders on the markets, all in the comfort of his own bedroom.
I'm gonna do something like that, man. You better hear about my video. You better make my video. Yeah. I'm telling you, bro, it's really about that, bro. You gotta say. People don't really know for real that it really be like that. It really do. It really does be like that, man. Does. What is that? It's your Kexin. It's your Kexin? It's your Kexin. What are you talking about? What is it your Texan talking about? It's your Kexin. This one. This one. What are you talking about? You. It's your coexin. What are you talking about? What is that? I can't click the link now. Yeah, man. I'm hop on next stream next time. This one is done.